That things can differ from concept art to ultimate end result is not news, but exactly how different are things when it comes to Moon Knight? Do you know who almost made an appearance in the series? And Marvel's Moon Knight cut a Disney Plus character from Season 1. Can you guess which one? Find out if you got it right later in the video. But first, Moon Knight concept art reveals a sinister design for Ammit. What artists come up with during the design phase and what ultimately ends up before the viewer is not always the same thing. In fact, a lot of the time, the two barely even resemble each other anymore. One of the concept artists of Moon Knight, Jared Morantz, shared some of the early ideas for how Ammit could have looked. The crocodile goddess looks very impressive in the show, but it's one of those cases where the concept art and the final product are wildly different. If you thought Ammit was scary in her own right, you'll be surprised at how much more sinister it could have gotten. In the concepts, Ammit is a lot more muscular and beast-like in physique. Oh, and no clothing. The lion's mane may look a little much, but it is actually a lot more in line with Egyptian mythology than what we got in the show. And when the goddess stands on all fours, she's if possible even creepier, as she pays homage to her animal origins. The concept art also shows that at some point there were plans to don flames down Ammit's back and tail, but that obviously got scrapped as well. Morantz was also so kind as to share the polar opposite of these designs, an Ammit with more human-like features. In the end, they seem to have gotten a semi-halfway approach, a mix of the two extremes, but a little heavier on the human-like side. Next, Moon Knight almost referenced Thor: Love and Thunder. When Moonlight was first released, fans couldn't wait to be the first to find all the Easter eggs, but they were in for a sad surprise. Moon Knight is one of the most, if not the most, isolated show in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But it's not like they didn't try. The MCU is already filled with great mythological deities across its many Thor films, like the Norse Thor, Odin, and Loki. Moon Knight has expanded MCU's pantheon of gods by introducing the Egyptian gods of Ammit, Taweret, Khonshu, and the Ennead. Moon Knight head writer Jeremy Slater has revealed that the series almost referred to events in Thor: Love and Thunder. More specifically, there was going to be a line about Gore the God Butcher, a villain portrayed by the amazing Christian Bale in the upcoming Thor movie. But when they started working on Moon Knight, there had been no official word on the release date yet, and the same for Thor: Love and Thunder. So they ended up making two versions of the same script, one where they call out Gore the God Butcher by name and one where they don't. In the end, they had to cut the reference because Moon Knight debuted well before the fourth Thor movie. Next up, Kit Harington almost made an appearance in Moon Knight. Aside from introducing new stories in the cosmic and multiversal divisions of the MCU, the franchise is also finally starting to lean into Marvel's comics' more supernatural elements. They sneakily started to sneak this in during Eternals, with Kit Harington as Dane Whitman and Mahershala Ali's very first credit as Blade. And things are continuing with Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight. Head writer Jeremy Slater has revealed that we almost got a surprise return of Kit Harington as Dane Whitman. They discussed the option because of his job in a history museum and the easy connection this gives between Dane Whitman and Steve Grant. Moreover, it would have been a very natural fit as well. With Dane Whitman's ties to the supernatural, he and Moon Knight could have worked things out together. But Slater ended up deciding against it. For starters, he didn't want to piss off the fans. If we got Kit Harington to show up and he doesn't suit up and he doesn't kick ass as a fan, I'm pissed off, he told Comic Book in an interview. And there simply wasn't enough room in either of the first two episodes to have Harington become the Black Knight. Logistically, it wouldn't have made any sense either. So Slater has decided he would much rather tease fans just a little bit before going for a reveal like that. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss out on the next part of this video. Is Moon Knight going to make an appearance in Captain America 4? While we're talking about cameos and such, is there a chance that we may meet Moon Knight somewhere else? Say, like in Captain America 4? Indeed there is. In fact, integrating Moon Knight into Captain America 4 was a part of the officially announced plan to make the character a part of the bigger shared world. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is in a transitional period like it has never seen before. Previous phases depended on building the first set of Avengers, like Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. Then it was just a matter of putting them together in various interesting combinations and situations. Now, the MCU has the task of successfully bringing in brand new characters into an already established world. Apparently, that wasn't enough for Marvel Studios, because it's also in the direction of replacing characters with new versions, like Steve Rogers. Now Chris Evans' contract has expired. In The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Anthony Mackie transitioned from his established role as Falcon into Captain America 2.0. hero. This means that Captain America will not just have a new version of a character, but a completely new one as well. Seems like Marvel is trying to pull the same trick with Captain America 4 as they did with Thor Ragnarok, where they put Chris Hemsworth Thor and Mark Ruffalo's Hulk together, turning them into a blockbuster duo. If that's the case, we're not complaining. Following, has Moon Knight been renewed for season 2? Because Moon Knight is a new character, we don't have a lot of precedent to go on. Everything about this character is new, including possibilities for its future. With other shows, we had reasonable certainty about where things were going. It was reaffirmed that WandaVision would remain a limited series pretty early on. And what if? And Loki was already confirmed to go on into season 2. But Moon Knight has literally never been used before. What could be the plans for his future? For most of its run on Disney+, Marvel and the team behind Moon Knight were pretty unwavering in their resolution for Moon Knight to be a limited series, like WandaVision, meaning the series would really come to a close at the end of its first and only season. But more recently, there have been whispers that this might not have been the whole truth after all, unless they genuinely don't know that there were some lies in there. But there are rumors that Marvel does have plans to bring Oscar Isaac's hero back for more adventures. Even the official Twitter account of Disney+ Hotstar India felt the need to tease the world with a tweet that said, "Can't decide what's harder, dealing with heat or waiting for the second season of #Moon Knight." Or maybe they're just making clear that we're all waiting for an official announcement. And then lastly, Marvel's Moon Knight cut Disney+ character from season 1. It's not just concept art that can be vastly different from the final result. Sometimes complete characters get erased and forgotten, as if they were never even an option at all. In this case, the latter would never have happened because the character that got cut from one show found a home in another one. On the Ringer vs. House of M podcast, Jeremy Slater revealed that Echo, aka Maya Lopez, was almost Marc Spector's love interest in Moon Knight. Why? For the sole reason that Marvel liked her character and they were trying to find a show to put her in. At first, Moon Knight was considered, but no matter how they tried to look at it, it was decided that she just didn't work at all for the story they were trying to tell with Moon Knight. It turned out to be luck in disguise because they didn't give up on trying to give Echo a place to go, which is how she ended up making her debut in Hawkeye. Imagine how different Hawkeye would have been without Echo. Fans have fallen in love with Echo just as much as Marvel already was, and they're currently working on a show for her alone, named Echo. Another thing that was almost completely different was the villain in Moon Knight. Slater said that Bushman was initially going to be the main villain, who he imagined would become possessed by an Egyptian god by the end of it. That's it. Have you watched Moon Knight season 1 yet? What did you think? Do you think Echo would have fitted into the story? Or do you agree that she's much better off in Hawkeye? Let us know in the comments. And thanks for watching.